I saw something. Calling the meeting of the school building subcommittee to order. Those present: Cindy Kirchhoff, Giuseppe Gincarelli, Audrey Fobert, Christopher Duhamel, Mark Arceau, Mark McKinnon, and myself, Michael Ober. Next item, approval of the minutes from September 24th, 2025. Do I have a motion?
So moved. Second.
Any comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
We are now at the public comment section, and there does not appear to be any public. So we're moving on. Approval of invoices. We only have a few, so this should not take too long. First one, TSKP invoices number 230601-26 for professional services for State Street Elementary School through September 30th, 2025 in the amount of $28,670.47. Total bill today is $1,675,178.47, or 87.9% of the total contract. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Next item, O&G Industries application for payment of number 13 for State Street Elementary School through September 30th, 2025 in the amount of $2,283,722.34. Total bill to date, $13,043,251.64, or 52% of the total contract. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Tower Street Construction application payment number 14 for Dunn's Corner School, Springbrook Elementary through August 31st, 2025 in the amount of $2,503,722.10. Total bill date to date, $15,005,860.45, or 93.8% of the total contract. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
On to Collier's Leaders Commission services for Dunn's Corner School, State Street, and Springbrook through September 30th, 2025 for invoice 1100,740 Dunn's Corners for $6,714.28. Invoice 1100,207 Springbrook Elementary School, $6,032.90. Invoice 1100,703 State Street for $3,915.83, coming to a total of $14,137.20. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And on to the next one. Invoice number 24 for OPM services through September 30th, 2025, in a total amount of $24,670. Dunn's Corners, $7,160. Springbrook, $7,160. State Street, $10,350. Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Mike, we do have a couple that were added. I don't know if Justin got the revised agenda out to everybody, but if you'd like, I'll read them off.
Please do, yes.
Absolutely.
Oh, first, let me say that we also have Deb Reading from Downs Construction, John Shive from Northeast Collaborative here, and Ray Smith from O&G.
Absolutely. Okay, so these are two invoices for WB Mason. These are for the furnishings at Dunn's Corner and for Springbrook. We have invoice 2563-85120. That's for Dunn's Corner in the amount of $64,452.67. And invoice 2563-53290 for Springbrook, and that's for $90,199.90. $121.20.
Do I have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Thanks, Cindy.
Is there another?
That's it.
That's it. So we are done with the invoices. We are now moving on to owner's project manager architect update.
Absolutely, thanks so much. So real quick on Dunn's Corner in Springbrook, because Ashley is actually away this week. The punch list work is still underway. I know we've had some new issues reported by Mark over the last couple of days. They've been forwarded on to Tower, and we're hoping to get some feedback on when they're going to be resolved as soon as possible. Modifications to the BDA system are still in the works. They did extend the tower at Dunn's by 20 feet, and that still did not solve the problem. So the fire marshal's been trying to help out with his end on communications, but right now the BDA system is still not functioning, so we're keeping a close eye on that. And Tower's working to schedule a project closeout conference next week, which would be a good thing, so that we can start talking about their outstanding closeout documents, which includes the owner training, attic stock, O&M manuals, and all that type of thing, which we still don't have. So that's the update on Dunn's and Springbrook. You have anything to add to that?
They are responsive, they are listening, and they are working as fast as they can.
Mm-hmm.
Being an active school, most of the work is second shift, so we do have to wait and try to get workers in there.
Yeah.
They diagnose problems and may have to come back the next day to actually solve the problem, but they are actively working on it, and they're in communication with us every day.
And honestly, some of these things are to be expected once you get in and start, especially in your kitchen or something like that, you get in and start working, and you find that some things just weren't quite right, and you gotta get in and adjust it, but just stay on top of it until it's all done. And I'll hand the floor over now to John for TSKP's and NCA's update on State Street.
Yep, for capital project update, yes.
Okay, thank you. So this will end up being kind of a multimedia, multi-presenter extravaganza here tonight. So we're gonna have some boards, we're gonna have some slides. I'm going to put up, I think, I'm gonna put these two on easels, heavy one, of course. Do you have our presentation?
Yeah.
You do? Okay, all right. All right, if any of these samples end up sliding off, because it's dry in here, the glue is. So what I'm putting up are basically some of the interior material boards that you saw back on May 28th. We're going to come back to these later in the presentation when we talk about the interiors, but I just want to get them into place here. Yeah, I know.
Lucky it's not raining with your job.
Yeah, I know. Like it was walking out of the office.
Here's Brandon, he's here, he's like, he's great for you. So I know her.
All right, set this here. Okay. All right.
So I go on the clicker so I can go through it, if that's okay.
Oh, okay, okay. All right. So basically, as far as the update goes, again, with the schedule, we're October 8th, 2025, everything on schedule. One thing you saw with the O&G pay requisition, pay application this month, they're up over $2 million for the month, and there is a lot of work happening out there. There is from the framers to sheetrockers to taping and sanding, to window installation, to HVAC, mechanical, electrical, sprinkler, piping, a vast array of contractors on site. Every day it seems like there's more people, more progress. So things going very well and very quickly on the construction site. But again, just in terms of that phase one complete late April is what we're still targeting. We talked a little bit about the phase two logistics last time, so we're continuing to tweak that and finalize the steps for that. So I guess we can move to the next slide. One thing that we're going to talk about, again, overall progress that's being made. I'm going to provide a quick update on the playground, because the playground for this school was held back during the final bid. There was a design kind of being worked on towards the end there, so that Audrey had looked at that about last summer. So we're at the point now where we understand the financing and everything associated with the project, that we're ready to put that together as a proposal request to O&G to price up and put together as part of the project now. That would be phase two work, obviously, because it's involved in the area that was where the existing school is right now. So it's in that red circle area is where the playground is. And then we're going to do an update on the interiors. Again, that was some of these boards here that you saw back on May 28th. One of the things to bring to your attention on that, I'll just mention it right now, is that there has been some updates to the colors of the LVT. We went away from some lighter colors in reviewing things with Mark and Audrey. There were concerns about hiding dirt and everything. So that is one thing that was updated on these boards that you're seeing here. So with that, let's move into the playground update. Or actually the overall update, if you keep going on the slides, just to share some pictures with you. The exterior of the building is getting this Tyvek wrap. That's just kind of.
It's the outer surface or facade of the structure.
Well, thank you for that explanation.
Am I getting an AI interactive?
You said it was going to be a show.
Really is multimedia, yeah. So the fact checking in real time, right? That's always. So that the Tyvek wrap, part of this layering process, where the next layer is the siding that's going to come on, and I think in the next slide, maybe it's the mock-up. Yeah. So you can get the sense here. I'm going to move over to this side for a minute and be able to point at the screen. So on top of that nail base that was on the building, you saw that previously. This Tyvek goes on. This is not your true AVB. Your true AVB, or air vapor barrier, is what you see in the blue, which is behind the nail base. So it is in a way a very it's again a very high performing thermal wall. So in the essence that this house wrap material is really just required by the siding manufacturer here. So this siding is fiber cement. This is the rice hull vertical siding, the recycled or upcycled product that gets used there. It's composite siding. So all of the details and everything, the flashing and the sill piece, all of that has been worked on, and we're moving the mock-up forward. And then on the next slide, we start to see where this siding is starting to get applied to the surface of the gym. So this is now looking from the gym, and on this east side of the building, looking back towards the entrance there. And then on the interiors, some mentioned the sheetrock and taping and so on that's happening here. This is one of the skylights, and this is one of the small skylights in one of the second floor classrooms. We had a few classrooms on the building that are that only have one window to the exterior, and then to supplement that, they have a skylight that's up above. So brings a lot of natural light down in, because it then tapers and opens up to a larger opening inside the classroom. And this is a diffuse light. It's the cowl wall panel. So it diffuses light and it bounces off the side walls here when they're all painted, and it's going to create a lot of natural light in those rooms. And then some of the large windows that you get these really dramatic views from them. So it's nice to see. But again, you can see that a lot of the second floor rooms are getting this sheetrock and are almost ready for paint. So that's a good segue, I guess, into what we're going to talk about after. But for the moment, the playground. So the playground, again, in this location here, this is the plan, and then some of the three-dimensional views that that Audrey and the team had looked at, and we just confirmed again to make sure that this was still the playscape that we're intending. So this is a large swing set on this side, and then there are some standalone apparatus pieces, some like interactive play walls. One of the things to keep in mind is that this does have to meet accessibility. So a lot of these elements that you'll see in the 3D view actually do meet accessibility. It doesn't mean that everything has to have a ramp. Some of them can be just simply accessed right from somebody who's in the chair. Some of them allow for a transfer from the chair to a play apparatus. So there's a lot of different opportunities without just creating miles of ramping in a playground. And I think so. This has all been done in coordination with our landscape architect Diane Sewell, and then the intended provider for the for this playscape. So let's take a look at the 3D views. You can get a sense of some of the elements here. Some bungee rope crawls, some different elements of just moving from hanging element to hanging element, and then you have some areas where you're able to move from one apparatus to another in very different ways. And this is one of those interactive walls that let you engage with those. So some pretty neat play experiences. They also had these unique shade elements, which we thought were really pretty cool. And then we have to keep looking at the three-dimensional views, because every time you look at a different three-dimensional view, you're opened up to a lot more of the different apparatus elements. If we go to the next one, yeah, here you get the sense of the full swing set. But also you see some of these areas that do have some multi-level sections, and some of the ways you actually move from side to side, from one section, from one platform to another. Some slides. Yep. And then this is looking back on the slides, kind of the mountain climb. So it's an exciting piece. It'll really give a lot of life and vibrancy to that open area near the entrance there. Any questions on the playscape? Again, we're putting it together as a proposal request. O&G is going to put a price on it. We had an estimate of everything. We've been working with this Landscape Structures and O'Brien and Sons about a year ago to develop all this. So we had a budget for it, but at this point, we're looking to put a hard number on it and get it into the project.
If I may, John, so if anybody's looked at the budget that was included with your agenda, the original estimate for the playground is now in that budget, and so is the funding that Cindy has so generously offered up. So that's all in there. So we shouldn't have any big surprises unless Ray brings us a 6-digit number.
What is the budget?
The budget is,
And if this comes over budget, is there segmented pieces that can come off of it to get us under?
I believe we can work with the vendor to try to come up with a plan there.
it was about 500,000. I'm sorry, I don't have it broken out. Oh, you said there. 475,946. Now, you made me say that number in front of Ray, and so he's gonna.
Well, the one thing that has to, what we're not seeing here is that as we're finalizing this, is that the surface, the actual ground surface, and I know we talked all through this at the other schools. It does need to be, in order to meet full ADA compliance, it does need to be it can't be a wood chip surface or anything like that. We're designing it with yeah, poured in place, but a soft poured in place product.
I have a question about that. So originally we had talked, I thought we were only gonna have one section that was poured in place, and the rest was supposed to be wood chips. So I don't know if
that
But
changes
you're
the.
right.
Yeah, pathways to the things and whatever items needed to have it, everything
Right,
else
the fall
would have
protection.
been EW.
You may be right, yeah, because that drawing hasn't been, that's part of the reason why we're trying to get things finalized to send that to ONG here, but, well,
Just assume that's gonna affect the cost.
yeah. Okay. I think next, yep, I believe Jeanette O'Connell is on the meeting, remotely from TSKP. Hi, Jeanette, are you there? Still muted. I think if you're trying to unmute. I'll check there too.
Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Oh,
I
you
hear you
can.
now.
Okay. All right. So am I able to share my screen?
Try.
Yeah, you should be able to if you,
Okay.
and I'll try to be Vanna with the boards. So if you
Okay.
need to run to the board,
Yeah,
I'll try to do
yeah.
that.
Okay, just send request here. I don't see it coming up. You don't.
I allowed the permission. Do you want to try to share it again?
Okay.
You can see your screen.
Okay.
No, no, we're seeing that circle bridge. There you go.
Okay. All right. So, hello, everybody. Hope everyone is doing well. If you recall, back in May, I came down with all those presentation boards. Are you getting echoing?
Not in the
No.
room.
Okay, it must be in my ear. We met, and I actually wanted to have the samples there for you all to see, because doing it virtually, it's hard to really see the true colors. And so this is just a little reminder about our concept, where we were drawing the colors from. And these were the paints that and a lot of these are on the boards already. But these are the paints, and we've really pretty much held true to all these colors that were selected. And we had some carpeting, so we were coordinating some paints with the carpeting, the millwork colors, window storefront colors, hollow metal. In the admin areas, we have this LVT. This is the overall LVT colors that we're working with. Only really a few changes were made previously. So in the end, this is the final palette for the LVT that we're working with. And as you recall, we had shown the main corridor here, where we have this lighter paint. We have the wall covering up here. We have this back wall, which is blue, which you'll see on the plan. We're going to show you it extends down. Upstairs, we have some blue paint here. And so this is one of the things that we showed the last time when we were getting acceptance for the palette. So basically, we wanted to just start with the renderings of a particular, it's room 142, a kindergarten room. So it's just to kind of show you that we have these large windows. You know, we have these funky windows in all the rooms, and one is quite particular. So we thought it would be nice to be able, from the outside, look in to be able to see some color along the wall. So that sort of established the pattern you'll see throughout the building, that this wall, typically with the larger window, will have the wall paint. This room down here, because it's unique, it's the end of the building, it has a window, a small window. So Randall wanted to kind of tie this in with that paint down here. But this is really the only area where this happens. Everywhere else is pretty much here. Although in these areas, we do have a lighter color paint as well. So these are the plans. Can you all see this? Is it showing well? The different color differentiation?
Might want to, if you're able to zoom in,
Yeah,
we might.
yeah, that's why I wanted to
Maybe
actually,
last one just had the rendering.
yeah, I wanted to do that because it was a little difficult. But basically, this is, you know, that main corridor, and if you recall, when you look down, you see a little bit of blue down here. Well, this continues down this hallway. There's these little depressions sort of that come out, and so we accented this on the hallway. And then on this side, it's just all white. There are tack boards, and so it gives some color in here. And then we have the LVT along the floor, which I'll get back to and show you too, but let's just kind of go over the paints right now. So as you enter into these rooms, it's unique with the kindergarten because of the cubbies. So we have one color paint here. And then again, this is those bigger windows we were looking at. This would have the accent color on these walls. Same here. And then on this side, it's very similar with the windows. We have an accent color in these areas. And then, let's see, go back to the, so this is the main entry in here. And we have, oops. Okay. So this central stair area, this is that paint that comes down. We have the mural all over up above here. And this is part of the material coming in. I believe this is the composite material that comes from the exterior, comes right into the interior, into the activity lab. And the same on this side where we have the fiber cement board, which is a grayish color, comes into this space. And then let's move this up. And it's a similar, as we talked about, this sort of repetition here. Same thing with the walls. And then on the second floor, come up here. So as you come upstairs, as you saw in the image, as you come up the stairs, is that blue paint coming along here. We have a whole bank of lockers along here, and it's open to look down in. So really we have the accents in this corridor along this wall. And again, we're repeating the same pattern where we're putting a little color in these sort of recessed areas. Within the classroom, these two rooms are unique in the configuration, but they do have these windows here. So we do have an accent color on each side of the wall. And then the other accent runs along this wall. This green that you're seeing is actually from the first floor coming up to the second floor. And then, so I do have a color to show you of the lockers, and which coordinates very nicely with what's going on with the floor. So let's go back here. So this was a plan we did a while back. It's partially rendered.
Oh, are we muted?
No, we're not.
Oh, okay.
Delayed.
Can I just pause for a second?
Yep.
Can you show again the paint colors, those two primary paint colors, the blue and the green? Because I think the green, the way it shows up on the plan,
Yeah, it
doesn't
is,
reflect
right,
what
right.
really.
Right. So
Yeah.
this is the blue and this is the green. And actually, we had to make it darker on the plan because it wasn't reading very well. So you're right. So this is the blue and this is the green. And we sent Audrey, well, obviously everybody saw it back in May, but we sent the colors out to Audrey to refresh her memory. So she had a set of all these colors. So basically the overall wall color is a little bit of an off-white, and that's pretty typical throughout. And these are just accent colors that we're using. In the corridors, pretty much this is what you're seeing throughout. This color we are using in the lavatory rooms. And then these two colors are some colors that Audrey's looking at to use in the admin space. And then I just had put this here because the interior window, it's a hollow metal, is all this lighter color. And then the storefront windows are this color. And then we had carpeting. And so, and that's, John has those on the board so you can actually see the colors and how nicely it all really coordinates. And then these are the LVT colors here. And so that's kind of what you're seeing along this area. Like we said, in here are the, it's listed over here, but we had to make it a little darker for it to read well.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much it. And then, so you can see it does coordinate with the LVT tiles. Let's do this. This is sort of a typical in the classrooms. It's more of a sandy color. It's not as dark as what is shown here. And so when you come in, the LVT color is on the floor, and then you have all the cubbies with the nice millwork that acts as a nice counterpoint. And then we have these accents as you're going down. So this is typical. We didn't do every single room, but this is typical throughout all the classrooms. And then in the corridors, in the cafeteria, we have these, which this is one of the areas that we did change a little bit with the color, but it's kind of the idea of the ocean. As you can see, you know, when you're out there, the ocean has different layers of colors. So that's pretty much how we developed that. And then coming through here, I think that rendering that we showed shows this pretty well. Although actually this flooring is a little bit more gray than what the rendering shows, which I'll flash back on. And but we are showing all the corridors with these accents as you're going along. But basically, most of the colors are in the corridors and in some of the classrooms. All the other rooms are just going to be that background, typical white color. And then here, again, so when you come up the stairs, we have all of this color. So, but we have this bank of lockers. So we paid attention as to what color would complement this best without getting too crazy. And then it goes into the same sort of patterning as you see downstairs. And again, in these little nook areas in all the classrooms, we have some accent colors. But basically, it's this warm sort of sand color, and that's pretty much throughout. Yeah. The other thing, this is the color. It doesn't show well. This isn't a great picture, but this is the locker color. It's actually a much lighter color. That was with that LVT that we showed. And then all the bathrooms, the wall colors will be that light green with a very warm, soft gray tile. And then the resinous flooring is what this looks like. And I just put this in because, you know, we talked about exterior colors and interior, and just to illustrate, you know, the stained composite siding, that it does come in at that activity lab area. as well as the fiber cement board coming in. And then again, this is the storefront and this is the hollow metal. So as you can see, it all ties in, I think, very well. I think Audrey was happy with what we were showing. So here, as you can see where that comes into the space. This is the activity lab over here. So we kind of like the idea of adding some color that's inviting, kind of drawing you down into the space. Same thing up here, it's drawing you up here. And then this is that lighter green that you're seeing. And I'm so glad we got this. This will be fun. And that's pretty much it. Does anybody have any questions?
Looks like nice choices. It's gonna look great. Good job, Audrey.
They're on.
Yeah, I think it's very nice and energizing and yet calming at the same time, which with young kids that's sort of a nice combination. Have some calming features. And that's pretty much it. John did bring the boards just in case you wanted to actually see the colors. Because again, on the screen, it kind of loses it. This is the typical color of the millwork. So all the millwork in the classrooms and throughout is this warm color. And we really, since the conception of our palette, we've pretty much held true throughout the building. And that's it.
On the millwork, is that the door as well? The actual door, is it that color?
Yeah.
Most of the classrooms are gonna have that same that light maple green look.
Yeah.
Gym floor. Oh, the whole gym. What's that gonna look like?
That we're
I don't think we have submittals yet, right?
Yeah, I think we're hoping to get that all tied down pretty soon between the submittal process and the and some of the brighter colors that you might have for your handholds on the climbing wall and things like that. So I think the gym will come back to you one more time on. But overall, we're doing some accent walls in some of the classrooms. We're not doing them in every room, nor are we doing every wall as an accent wall. That wouldn't be an accent anymore. So we're being fairly judicious with which walls get, usually it's one wall and then like the entry bay of the classroom. Some of the more common spaces have, and with the exception of the big atrium, some of the more common spaces intentionally have more basic wall surfaces because an art room is going to become an art piece of artwork itself with just display and things of student artwork or music rooms or the gym we're going to come back to. But you have a lot of different things to use as accent for color in those spaces. So that's why we're being focused with certain accent walls in certain spaces here. And one of our next steps is we then we provide this to O&G. Ray and I were kind of talking about some details about, does this paint actually reach the edge of the wall or not, or that one at the end of the kindergarten room that Jeanette showed earlier about going around the window. We'll sort those kinds of things out with maybe we didn't have as many rooms of accent paint or something, but overall, in terms of what the specs own is basically if a corner to a corner gets paint, then that can be one color and then the next wall can be another color, and in general that's oversimplifying it, but that's the basis we're working towards and how we've approached this from the original inception of the specs. So any minor adjustments there we'll have to sort out. Again, Jeanette, I have been dancing around from board to board as Vanna every time.
Give it Vanna White there. Yeah, the boards are. We did try to glue some of those pieces back on. They've been around for a while.
Yeah, the only thing I don't think we had was the locker sample, but it's
Yeah.
pretty close to this light green paint, right? This,
Yeah, it's called sky blue.
Yeah.
Like I said, this really doesn't do it justice, but it is quite nice.
it's more
For
like
some reason, this picture, I don't know why this came out gray, but
Yeah.
it does complement it well with the LVT.
Yeah.
You know, in here. So I think it works well.
The other images, the resinous flooring and that light green wall tile, they all, you can tell on the boards here that they're much lighter.
Yeah, that's why I, really wanted to come down to Westerly the first time so everybody could actually see it. But yeah. Yeah, I think it's gonna be great.
Looks good, Jeanette.
Okay, thanks, Audrey. Okay, so that's nobody has any questions. We should be done with that segment.
Thanks, Jen.
Let me unscreen. Okay, have I gotten out of the share?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. All right, so if there's no questions, I will say good night to everybody.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. Good night.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
John, can I borrow any of the boards to start showing the staff?
Can I just bring them back and then bring them back another time? Okay. Number one, I want to come up with a better way of mounting this stuff on this one. And this one was marked up from the revisions. So one of the things we're doing right now is we're reviewing the submittal with, and I should have mentioned this earlier, Mark. There are certain rooms where we were keeping that, what we call stack bond, but pretty much in a lot of other places, we were going to the running bond, the standard application. So like the ONG submittal, we're reviewing now to make sure that all of the, where there's no pattern, we're just doing it the running bond, which is your staggering joints. Okay. So
she had that represented on her side of things in the slide.
Yeah, that one was, her slide was updated. So maybe we get you an updated version of these two drawings before I leave those with you, and then yeah.
Okay.
Let me do that. Yeah. Okay. All right, we're all set then?
Thank you.
Anything else? No.
All set.
That's it. So that was a capital project update, or that still needs to come up?
Real quickly on the capital project, we have the request into the town now. We're gonna move forward with Ashley, who's already under contract on the roofing scope. We're gonna try to get that posted with the information on it that's contingent upon approval, funding available July 1. So we're waiting for Ashley to get back and we'll try to kickstart that project and then we'll see where we get approval for the other. And we'll move forward on those as we come.
Any questions? Is there anything else? No? Okay. Then I guess we're on to the next steps, which I think is just the grand opening. Yeah.
I have procured the big scissors. Hot item here, so don't run with them.
No,
Are we all set?
I just have landscaping, and they were working, and then I haven't seen them in a few days, but we have a lot of plants still have to get in the ground.
So Jen's staff will be there because it's like a faculty meeting,
Oh, okay.
and hopefully we'll have some family there. And yours, it's your open house, right?
Yeah, we'll have a lot.
Yeah, it'll be great.
The grass is coming in great. Is that gonna get cut? Are we gonna, what do you wanna do with that?
I wanna ask them if it's okay to cut before I cut something and then they tell me I ruined everything, so.
I thought if I throw that into his email, I could send them out.
Anyone else want to add something to next steps? Something they want to talk about next meeting?
I just want to thank Ray for taking around the Westerly High School P-Tech students came, about half of them came through the building, he spent a couple
Oh,
hours
that's
with
great,
them.
thank you.
Great opportunity for them to see careers in action, and I'm working with the middle school to try to coordinate something where we can inspire some 8th graders maybe to go the P-Tech route after they see the building, so I'm working on it. So thank you, Ray.
They must have been very interested, they spent 2 hours in school.
We got to meet a lot of tradesmen, and I think it was eye-opening for them, but also they were excited.
That's great.
Okay, so then we go to public comments, and there is no public here. So the next item is adjournment. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Right. And we are adjourned.